Yeah, there's a kind of a dirty secret about how our breeding works based on the size of men to women. Women carry the baby, which is undeniably the bigger task, and yet men have to be larger than women, both for the ape world and for us. Um, you know, the alpha or the silverback has a very, very, very big male and a tiny female. And we do that too, where men have to be big, women want a big man. I just heard it enough. There's some reason to like, I don't want to carry a woman not wanting to carry a massive baby. I'd prefer to not have to do that. I don't want to have to pass that through me. Um, which, by the way, if you're squeamish at all about breeding, you shouldn't. Just don't. None of this, like, better get it on while it's time. No, 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 no. It's not that time. Wait or not at all. Because you're going to make someone who has needs and who's going to die, right? And that's not glamorous, right? So, but humans do that too, where the men need to be bigger than the women. If a man's going to succeed with women, he needs to be basically huge. He has, and the reason why is he has to intimidate all the other men, and the other reason why is it's harder for her to run, right? And I know that sounds like a shock, but that's the truth. Is that it's so he can force her to do it. I realized when I was doing pickup that women liked that. That women actually liked it when a guy took control of their life and made her his, right? Which says who our ancestors were. There's this view in religion that there's like a divine morality. Religion is a lie so the real government can breed. That's the truth of it. Um, and that the reason men have to be huge compared to women is to dominate turf for the womb, which mirrors a lot of mammal species, is that a small guy is not going to be chosen for breeding because the other men will dominate him. And so it's like, yeah, the guy just drops off some sperm. That's not a lot of size required, right? But and the woman has to carry the whole baby. She incubates it inside her body and has to pass it, right? And so, yeah. But the reason she's not bigger than the guy is because basically the guy has to. That's just what happened in the past. Is the big men were able to turn off the other guys, and the big men were able to force the women to be with them. I think a lot of women, rightfully, I knew a really big girl who was a lot taller than me, and she was not for sex. She would literally say no, right? And I think that that is what would happen if she wasn't like forced into it by being the small one, which is sad. So it's like, yeah, the dirty secret of our breeding problems beyond the obvious, the viewable ones, is what happened to the size. The woman has the bigger job, incubating and carrying the baby. Why can't the woman be giant? But it wouldn't work because the guy has to fight all the other men. And a woman who is big could say no. If a woman was physically capable of defending herself, she would be less likely to become a mom than somebody who would be like the subservient to a large man. So, yeah. It's hey, does love exist? No. Our breeding patterns are there, like how a river flows. But it is you can't say it's divine. It's a more like a mechanical logistics. Just what had worked, what does it do, that sort of thing. So yeah, I do find that funny and sad that you know in our breeding pattern the men are bigger than the women. The women have the bigger job, carrying and passing the baby. That requires a big person, but because the man has to force her to do it, and the man has to beat all the other guys. No guy is gonna give a girl to a guy. Nah, It doesn't work that way. They're gonna fight. They're gonna hate each other, right? And so my problem with circumcision is circumcision slides in as like you have to do this to stop boys from fighting, but it was done by boys as a fight, right? Is that circumcision was made by men who planned on winning overall. Hey, why challenge all the other men to see if you're better? Just rip their shit off and lie, and then you can have as many girlfriends as you want, no looking, right? So that's the time it is on Earth now. All the people who are in the religious hoaxes or who think the countries are real are duped and confused. They don't have a clue. The reality is that the real government likes women and they prey on us for sex. And that's why the men are bigger than girls. Even though the girl has the bigger job carrying and passing the baby, most women would not volunteer to be a mom if she could physically fight for her own safety. And so you disappear. You don't have kids, you disappear. Like, you notice how smart I am? I don't have any kids. That's a bad sign for you. The invention of the AI is a good sign, but it's a bad sign when it's known that your most intelligent quit from the breeding circle because they don't agree with it. They see that love's not real and that you only feel that way because of making more people. It's where your people come from. So yeah. Yeah. Men are bigger than women because men have to fight for the womb. No man is going to become a father by asking and being nice. Here, you can breed with so and so, and she's going to be horrible. There's a lot of guys who have absolutely dog women. They have horrible women because they were nice, right? And the guys that have the best women are absolute monsters toward other men and toward women because who would ever do that otherwise? Nobody would ever do that otherwise. So, yeah. It's definitely a crisis to me. It's an existential crisis on a societal scale. Is who are we really? Why are the men all bigger than the women? It's because a man has to turf for the womb. A man arrives to be her lover with elbows toward all the other guys, and they're not going to give it to her. They're all going to test you. They're all going to try, right? So you have to be the most intimidating. And she's not going to do it willingly because it's going to ruin her life. You want to carry this guy's kid. Who the fuck is he? It better be I'm scared to say no. He physically grabbed me and forced me to do it. I didn't notice that about women, is that if you can pick them up and move them easily, it's like a turn on for them. Why? That's who their ancestors were. Their ancestors were picked. You. And they're like, okay, wasn't doing anything else. And I knew a woman taller than me, like 6'5". She was definitely like more more dismissive. She liked me. She would always like text me like when am I going to see you? But it was like she wasn't into letting me say when it would happen. So that's why the men are huge and the women are small. The women have the bigger job carrying the baby, but men are bigger than women because they have to fight for the womb. And no woman will say yes if she has a choice. So, yeah. I've suggested the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. That basically you make people that live forever for free. I definitely think that that is an elevated form of existence than toiling and breeding before you rot alive. That's definitely sucks. That's like, did the creator make this place with intention? Hell no. This place is like, you see how those animals fight? That's what we are too, with ourselves and with our peers. So, hope this helps.